Hello, hello, and hello to all of my Pisces. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. This reading is for the 28th of May through the 28th of June. Pisces, let's get into it. I am talking to you if you have Pisces anywhere in your chart, including if you're on the cusp of Aquarius or cusp of Aries. Also, if Pisces is your MC or IC, I am talking to you. If you all have been tuned into my channel, you know exactly where Pisces is in my birth chart. So let's get into it. Let's get right into it, Pisces. Let's go. We're coming up on a full moon in Sagittarius. So, of course, every Sunday there's questions to prepare you for the upcoming major moon phase, which is full moon in Sagittarius. You know that you're landing on the bright side of the moon in Sagittarius. If you are feeling more adventurous, optimistic, exuberant, open-minded, sincere. In contrast, you'll know that you're landing on the dark side of the moon in Cancer. Dark side of the moon in Sagittarius. If you're feeling more restless, extravagant, irresponsible, careless, uncommitted. This is a great time as far as my water signs are for you to, the Sagittarius moon for water signs is you, Cancer, and Scorpio. Your emotional, imaginative personality is galvanized by the energy and philosophical vision of a Sagittarius moon. This is a successful combination for writers and also artists. So, great time. So, a lot of airs coming out. Somebody is thinking about a lot of things that's cutting into your wealth, right? So, here's the easiest way for you to do this. You're a water sign. This is a lot of air. Every time you put an extra air, it's like, extra air, like leaving a cup of water outside. It's evaporating a lot sooner up under that sunlight, up under all the other wind blowing and all of that. Source is saying, yes, you're definitely going through a rebirth here. You're picking up on, as we get closer and closer to the full moon, you're definitely picking up on people who have talked about you in the past, who have deeply hurt you in the past, all of those. Remember, you're an emotional sign, so that emotional, how much pain you've gone through in your past, Source is saying it's time for you. Your ancestors are saying move on from it, physically move on from it, because see this depth of water here? They're trying to get you onto dry land, to get you settled somewhere so that you can move on without these energies and start the process of healing and starting the process of forgiveness and to get back on your throne. And that's what Source is trying to tell you is that, yeah, legitimately you've gone through a lot of pain in your past, a lot of backstabbing, people talking about you, running smear campaigns. But remember, some of these swords represent you lost loved ones. Don't forget that part, because losing loved ones can literally feel like a dagger, literally. And so somebody's saying this is the end goal for you. Is like, I know it was I'm predestined to be wealthy long before I got here, before I was assigned this human body. My spirit was also already very, very wealthy. That means that wealthy in stability, wealthy in vitality, wealthy in loyalty, wealthy in prosperity, patience, tenacity, career success. It was already predestined for you to be wealthy. You just had to go through a lot of pain. Like what I'm seeing here in your cards is that somebody is probably a healer because of the pain that you have to go through from people that's closest to you. And so that's what's going to make somebody very wealthy, if you can come up out of your emotions and say, I need to go ahead and seriously cut some people out of my life, because now I understand why I attract very broken energies that don't want help. They want the nurturing, the water from you. Very thirsty energies want the water, and some of them will take that water from you and they'll say, okay, I'm calmer now. Thank you, Pisces. I really appreciate this. You'll see it in your comment section. You'll see it in, just face to face. I really appreciate you. You're here. They'll tell other people, oh yeah, you gotta talk to Pisces. They just, oh my God, they really helped me through a rough time. And then you'll have some people who act like you never gave them water. They were on their verge of literally passing out, emotionally drained, depressed, sad, all of those things. Those people, you're going to have to learn, Pisces, to say, all right, that's just the frequency they're on. Doesn't mean, I gave them water out of the kindness of my heart. Now it's time for me to move on, because you're headed towards a lot of wealth, instead of just allowing them to drain all your water out and getting you depressed, and you feel like, okay, well, I can't see my wealth because I'm overthinking it. So somebody could literally feel like they hit the jackpot. Here we got the 9 of Cups, the 4 of Cups, the Fool card, the Judgment card, the 2 of Swords, and also the Page of Swords. So judgment is in your favor, meaning that somebody's broken through some kind of generational cycles, chains, or curse. Somebody could definitely have felt like a fool in the past, but not anymore. Somebody was definitely in denial about some energies in your life, definitely in denial. And so here we have the Page of Swords. And so this lets me know that the anxiety that you've been feeling about a situation will soon be going away. And someone's trying to tell you, dream bigger, speak it into existence. Somebody could say, you know what, God, I want to hit the lottery. Or you can be like, thank you for letting me hit the lottery. And then all of a sudden, your life has changed. Not to say that that's what's happening, but emotionally, somebody's going to feel like that. Somebody's going to say, I don't know why I was overthinking certain things. I was in denial about certain things from my past, but I'm not in denial anymore. I feel brighter. I feel liberated. I feel freer. So something has been heavily on somebody's mind. And it could have caused... That's why Source really wants somebody to really start focusing on forgiveness. I forgive people from my past. I even forgive myself from hurting people, especially when you're coming through all kinds of trauma yourselves. I forgive the people from my past. I forgive ex-lovers who hurt me with their words or actions. I forgive the rejection. I forgive all of it. I'm moving on without those energies. Too triggering. I'm moving on without those energies, living my best life, because this is where somebody is right now, sitting around ruminating over something. And Source is like, you don't need to. Here are your questions as you're aiming big, right? Here are your questions. So Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. When you think about Jupiter, I want you all to start thinking growth and opportunity, right? Also think good fortune, blessings, abundance, horizons, like what's on your horizon, enthusiasm, zest for life, possibilities, confidence, adventure. Also think about words like ethics and also morals, right? So somebody's going to be feeling, a lot of people are going to be feeling really lucky, but it's because it's the full moon. Also feelings of where you were unlucky, or feelings where you felt like you weren't, as enthusiastic about certain things. You didn't have that zest for life. Those are also going to come back. And so you're going to have to really decide what you're going to put your energy into, what you're going to take your sword and go ahead and cut out. That's why we have the Queen of Swords here. Queen of Swords is you can either vibrate high above it and say, hey, I forgive all of these people that hurt me that I had to leave behind, and I don't feel like a fool anymore. I feel like you got to also kind of sort of remember too, Pisces, that a lot of it has to do with conditioning. If you grew up around a lot of hurt, I mean, seriously, people slicing each other with their words and just ghosting people, like no regard. If you grew up around that kind of chaotic environment, that was part of your conditioning. And as abnormal as it is seemed that while you were in it, guess what? Somebody went right out into the world and attracted those same types of energies. So, but you being a Pisces, and then also escapism is one of the low vibrating characteristics for Pisces. That could have caused somebody on the journey of, some kind of substances, even if it was medication for depression, just feeling like this is just going to get me through the day. And so now that somebody is out of that, and it's not like that was intentional, maybe that's what somebody needed to kind of be in that state of mind, to just let your ancestors just take over and just guide you through life. So be grateful for it all. Knight of Cups, Five of Cups. We have the Nine of Wands. We have the Queen of Coins. We have the Eight of Swords, and also the Six of Wands. Source is saying once you move on from your past, do not ever go back, because again, you would be vibrating and operating in the flesh, like your spirit has left your body. You're at a whole different frequency. You breaking generational cycles, chains, and curses. See this yellow dress right here? You see yellow here. You see this yellow candle. You see my yellow jacket. You see the yellow cover of this book. Sagittarius is a fire sign, and it deals with the element of fire. So somebody has been saying, I'm willfully moving forward. This is where the fire has to come from. I willfully am moving forward, no longer just going along with everybody else's flow. What kind of energy we gonna be on today? You giving me good vibes? Okay, that's the kind of vibes I'm giving back. You giving me bad vibes? I'm giving you the same vibes back. Some source is saying to you, now that you're at a higher frequency, take control. Create such a firm boundary that people can see the change, liberation, and freedom in you. That's what Source is trying to tell somebody. You're out of the wilderness. You're on the other side of this long and arduous journey, and Source is saying to you, victory. Be grateful that the past is a part of the past. because you're definitely moving towards this wealth. So we got the Six of Wands, the Knight of Coins, the Queen of Coins. We have the King and Queen of Pentacles. So this is a person who has really built a reputation of a person who is a person who has, people see you as stable, rooted and grounded, someone who is secure with themselves. Like everything about your energy, Pisces, gives off wealth. Doesn't matter what house you live in, doesn't matter what kind of car you driving, but everything about your energy is giving a lot of people in your where you are now and in your future. I am stable mentally and physically. I'm rooted and grounded. I know what's vital to my success and what isn't vital to my success, so I'm not entertaining a bunch of hurt energies. I feel like my career is successful. I feel the prosperity all around me. I just feel wealthy. I feel at peace. And so when we're talking about wealth, we're talking about somebody feels healthier. Somebody also feels more at peace. There's no price tag you can put on peace. And guess what? You worked hard for it. You invested in yourself and you worked hard for it. So you earned this. So Source is saying to overthink this is self-sabotage. There's no way you would go back to some of the energies and be in this position right here, lamenting over everything. I'm so sad that my family is fighting and they're cutting each other with their words and they're hurting each other. Like, why would you throw yourself back into situations like that where it's just a bunch of chaos and confusion? Why would you go back to certain exes where it's always they ghosting you, they don't care about how you feel, they hurting you to some degree? Like, something is coming up in your mind. You remember all of this. It's going to feel like a lot of people are lucky, so you could be having some thoughts about exes. They sure would, good and bad. So it's just like, take that sword and cut out the negativity and move on. Tower card. The Page of Cups, the Tower card, the Sun card, the Queen of Wands, the Two of Swords, Five of Swords. Like I said before, some people going through a tower moment. You're a changed person. You're at a higher frequency. You're at a much higher frequency. You were definitely in denial about two energies in particular. Definitely in complete denial. It was two main energies in particular. What Source is saying, something from the past for you will remind you of those energies. And here we have the Sun card. And so Source says, stay in your light. See, for somebody, you could have pictures of these energies in your house. You could have had, could be old photographs of people in your house. And Source is saying, get rid of those energies. Again, if you're not really 100% certain, don't just start throwing out pictures, Pisces. But if there's energies or anything that links you to those energies where the pain could have started, Source is saying to you, pay attention. Here we have the Queen of Wands. I see somebody feeling happy, charismatic, and free. Or we have also the Page of Cups. And this is like fresh water, like fresh water to you. Like, I feel like I'm drinking more water. I feel like I'm flushing out toxins in my system. You know how when people are going through a detox, they're doing juice and water fast and stuff like that. Like eating cleaner. That's what somebody is doing. It's just like you're overthinking some things from the past. And the reason why it's becoming even more intense, and you can be hearing things when you wake up, is because energies from your past are really going through a tower moment. Really going through a tower moment. It could be an Aries. It could be a Pisces. It could be an Aries. It could be a Scorpio that's having a tower moment. We have the Four of Diamonds. We have the Joker of Spades. We also have the Six and Seven of Clubs. We have the Three of Spades and also the Four of Hearts. So somebody has definitely been sitting around and lamenting over something. See, whereas somebody has definitely been sitting around ruminating over something. Somebody came out of a lot of chaos. Looking at these cards here, a lot of chaos. And these, the Six and Seven of Wands lets me know that there's been double victory here over these two energies in particular. And anything that's like their energy. See, we're talking about spirits, not necessarily people. We're talking about spirits. Anything that's like those energies that somehow robbed your joy. They were very manipulative, bullying almost. Their energy just kind of gave off to they're still talking. They're still talking. It's a lot of people still talking. Here we have the seven of clubs. And so Source is saying to you, When you sit down and envision your life, Pisces, you envision your life without them, without their energies being around at all, because they're into some things that's backfiring, and they're going through their karma, and it's bouncing off that protective field from source, and your ancestors are all around you as well, helping you. And then we also have the three of spades. And source is saying, while it could be deeply heartbreaking and deeply disappointing, it's necessary for you to move on from these energies. Like, really, really necessary for you to move on. Because otherwise, if you don't, and you keep going back to things, even in your mind, replaying it, you may want to have a drink or get back on, medication, or involve, some kind of escapism, because it's just that painful. But remember, as a water sign, too, you all are highly creative. Highly creative. This for you, like I said, can increase somebody's, whatever, if you're a healer, because we're saying all this hurt here in your cards, it can make you a better healer. It can make you relate to people on such a deep level of understanding, understanding, and overstanding that people swear up and down you're talking about them, or you could be talking about yourself. That's how deep it goes for somebody. Here we have the Ace of Clubs. We have the Ten of Spades. We also have the Two of Clubs, the Joker of Spades, the Nine of Clubs, and also the Queen of Diamonds. So this lets me know there's two and this is interesting, because there's two energies in particular that really hold you in high regard. On one hand, they're very proud of you, as long as you're connected to them. They see you as a way out of, their hurt and their pain. They see you as a person who is financially stable, someone who has a great reputation, someone who has, but they also will turn, when you don't want to have anything to do with them, they will also turn on you. So those types of energies, everybody knows those types of energies. You break up with somebody, all of a sudden you the worst girlfriend or boyfriend they ever had. They trying to get to everybody to tell them, to try to deter everybody from dating you. That's okay, because if there are people who are committed to believe in them, it's good anyway, because you don't want that energy in your universe. So here we have the 10, and like I said, a lot of the Ten of Swords came out twice. They're running all kinds of smear campaigns, talking about you like a dog. But anyway, here we have, and again, you may have felt like, wow, the joker's on you, but it's actually on them. You may have felt foolish in the past, but not anymore. No reason for you to go back. Ace, Two, and Nine of Clubs. And this Nine of Clubs lets me know that both of them were just a nightmare. Two energies, like I said, in particular, but it could be a lot of energies that are like that. It could have been a lot of energies that are like that. So when you think about it, like I said, if you're not sure who they are, Source is saying to you that it's time for you to move forward. Somebody may be planning a trip or going on vacation or something like that, because again, it's been two victories for you, two major victories for you. And so it's time to move on. It's time to move on. It's time to move forward beyond all of this madness. Time to move on from all of this madness that I'm looking at here in these cards, because my goodness, somebody really came from a lot of hurt, like a lot of deep disappointment, where you had to escape. Emotionally, you had to escape, but now you're physically saying, I need to stay as far away from that chaos and confusion as possible, because that energy will have you caught up in some stuff. Like I said, a lot of people learn the hard way, because they keep going back to a bunch of hurt from people that they are related to, and don't even realize how those same energies condition you to be in really horrible romantic relationships, stay on jobs too long, all of that other kind of stuff. So if you don't know who they are, ask God. Here we have Judgment in your favor. Judgment card came out twice. Here we have the Ace of Cups, the Justice card in your favor, Discipline, Death card, and also Healing. So, like I said, Judgment card came out twice. There's some energies that are definitely going through a tower moment. They're definitely going through a tower moment. Things are not going well for them. Something is finally over. You've already removed their energy from your scales. You're moving on. Somebody isn't focusing on healing right now and learning some kind of discipline. And when I say discipline, it's very much what I was saying in the beginning. Stop just going with the flow of things and create such firm boundaries. Now that you're at a higher frequency and you're away from energies, Now create some boundaries in this new life that you're in. Do not go back to just going with the flow of everything, because otherwise, again, you're going to keep repeating cycles, keep getting hurt by people dismissing you, ghosting, and gaslighting you and all kinds of stuff. So it's like there should be some change. Like, learn how to protect your creativity, learn how to protect your water is what Source is trying to tell somebody. It's like, learn how to protect your energy. We got the Ace of Cups. And so again, with all of this wealth coming across your path, this wealth of knowledge, wealth of peace, wealth of healing, legacy wealth, you got all of this wealth coming across your path. Something in you should be different. So Source is saying somebody is definitely a healer, but make sure you are healed first before you're trying to heal someone else. Discipline. Source is saying hang in there with yourselves. You're just learning. So somebody's definitely feeling like a changed person, and if there's some nervous jitters or something in your stomach, you're just going through the process. That's why Source is saying discipline yourself, just hang in there. You're just learning. As a healer, you're picking up on everybody's energy, so there's a divine flow of things headed your way. Eventually, one sublime desire takes precedence over all others, to follow the divine flow at all costs. That's what Source is saying to you. Follow the divine flow at all costs, even if that means people are talking about you behind your back and wishing the worst on you. Source is saying to you, follow the divine flow at all costs. It'll make you very wealthy in health, peace, love, happiness, joy, creativity, and everything. Oracle. Somebody could also be an oracle. Spirits of other worlds, tell me tales of the unknown. Tell me tales of the forbidden. All right. Step out of your comfort zone. Again, like this card says right here, ascend higher. God has separated you, put you out here away from all of that stuff that you left behind. And so you are at a higher frequency. Source is saying step out of your comfort zone. Ascend higher. Somebody may be physically moving north of wherever you live now. I know I have subscribers from all over the world, but you may be like literally moving away from a lot of people who are in a physically, geographically, a lower geographical area than you are. You could be physically moving away from them, because that's what Source is saying. Get settled somewhere, but away from all of those emotions and chaos and confusion and all of that other stuff. So, what else we got going on here? Number card. Let's get your this. Let me get another. All right, Pisces, this is good. Since you're moving on from, like I said, you're moving on from some things. Moving on. Music. Make sure you get in your car, turn up your favorite tunes, your favorite songs, Pisces. A lot of you all love music. Listen to your favorite music. Let the wind blow through your hair. Get out there under that sunlight and remove all that stale energy. But 888, I am abundant. I am abundant. As you focus on all the wonderful things that surround you, Pisces, you're clearing the path for more positive energy to flow into all areas of your life, creating a place for abundance. That's right. You're learning how to clear the air. See, God had to let all this hurt happen to somebody as a healer, because you're not just some kind of a textbook healer. You are a person who has literally walked the walk. You walked through hell and came out on the other side. And so when you're helping people, again, you've already been through. You're coming through with a different level of compassion this time, because you've been in some of those same type of romantic relationships. You've been in some of those job situations. You've been in some of those family situations. So you're not looking at people in judgment. You're looking at people like, hey, I've been there before. But if I can ascend higher and get as far away from those people, so can you. That's the encouragement that you're offering people. So kudos and congratulations to you for moving on from something. See how these people are beating on a tambourine and also a drum. So Source is saying to you, this is how powerful This is how powerful the sound of the vibrations is, breaking up all the negativity. You know, Pisces, helping you to break up the atmosphere so that you can start your own healing process, and that you are a healer, you know, to other people, a multitude of people. So don't stop what you're doing. You went through all of that to be a greater healer. And so here we have forgiveness. Affirmations for forgiveness. And I think this is what I said at the beginning. I forgive myself. I am healing from past trauma. I release all guilt. I forgive hurt done by others. I accept that I cannot change the past. Anger does not control my mind. I release all sadness. I am grateful for every experience. I am stronger because of my challenges, and that you are. That is what I have for you, Pisces. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye.